Hi, welcome to November's Cards and Channeling Meetup for Doing the Most here on my Patreon. Um, so just so you know, no one asked any specific questions, so that's fine. We're gonna just get into the Koa reading and we're gonna get into the key card, and I'm also going to review what I've written on Patreon, which is that I am creating my own member space on my website. And so by my birthday of 2022, which is March 5th, I will be transitioning from Patreon to my own member space. And everyone who is on my Patreon will get a grandmother discount for a monthly subscription that will allow you to join at a discounted rate for your loyalty and your support of me through Patreon all these years. Excuse me while I pull up my tube bra. On the Patreon, I have learned a lot about the kind of offerings that I enjoy making on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. And what I can promise in my member space is better quality video. I almost recorded this one with my phone, which just has an infinitely better camera than my computer. But I just figured I would go out with 2012 in consistency, 2012, Lord, in 2021 with consistency, and go into 2022 with all the advancements. So thank you for being here all these years or all these months or all these moments, and looking forward to seeing what the Koa reading is for the month of December, which is going to be coming from the Passages Oracle, and the key card, which is going to be coming from Postcards from the Liminal Space. So we'll start with the concern, opportunity, and obstacle. As you guys know, or should know at this point, the first card, this is a spread I created myself. It's a 3-card spread. The first card, the concern, is the objective thing going on around us collectively in the community, in our lives, with ourselves. Then the opportunity obstacle is that which outside of us, that what is happening outside of us and how we view that which is happening outside of us. Do we consider it to be a stepping stone? Do we consider it to be a blockade in the middle of the road? And then our third card is the advantage aversion card, which is what about our character, our inner qualities, is working for us or against us. So let's see what we got going on here. Concern, opportunity, obstacle. Okay, I got to keep shuffling for the advance. Oh, maybe it volunteered itself just now. It just did. Okay. So again, this is the Passages Oracle deck by Liliana Perez, colleague and homie, and highly recommend this deck. It is colorful and has no book because you're supposed to intuit. So let's get into our reading, and then we'll see what the key card is for this month, December 2021. Okay. So our concern is movement, polarity, magnification. So movement is always happening, right? I have my quantum energetics tools, which are tools that I've created under the umbrella of quantum energetics. Quantum physics is about the structural, mathematical, calculable relationship or nature of the universe. And quantum energetics is about the spiritual, esoteric, existential nature of the universe. Quantum energetics is my own word, my own studies, and my tools are also my own creation. So the first tool that I'm going to share with you in regards to movement is called biocompassing. I'll be teaching a workshop on this in 2022, by the way. But biocompassing is when we use our lives and what happens to us in our life as our means of discovering direction. So as you guys probably know, I always say existence affirms through positive synchronicity, which means it allows, aligns, compounds, magnifies, exaggerates, repeats, continues, opens up. Then existence allows through neutral synchronicity. And neutral synchronicity is simply there to help you discover whether something is for you positive or negative, because if it was decidedly positive or negative, you would just go in the directions of the positive or go ideally away from the direction of the negative. But neutral synchronicity is there to help us find out when we're not sure, when we don't know, and is giving us the room to find direction. So an example I often give for neutral synchronicity is like if you're interested in surfing and you're interested in carpentry, you take a class in both until one of them proves to be more positive or negative than the other, or until both prove to be positive or too negative to do. So neutral synchronicity is there for you to be able to make an informed choice, to make a choice at all. Because if you just knew it was for you or not for you, the choice would be made for you, right? And then negative synchronicity detaches, repulses, denies, disengages, disintegrates, dislocates, just like an electron, its nature is to repel, to get away from. So negative synchronicity is there to say, not this direction, not this direction, not to this direction. Positive synchronicity is there to say, this direction, this direction, this direction. And neutral synchronicity is there to say, is it a direction? Is it a direction? Is it a direction? And so the concern is, are you trusting when you take action, when you take the actions of your highest passion or your highest preference, or when you go in the direction of the version of yourself that you most prefer, and you take action upon your neutral and positive beliefs, at that point, you allow existence to respond to you through the biocompassing marker, positive synchronicity, neutral synchronicity, negative synchronicity. And as we know, existence is not linear and it's multidimensional. So it's never just positive, neutral, negative in a line. It's also positive, 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 neutral, positive, negative, neutral, positive, neutral, 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 negative, negative, positive, negative, neutral, negative, negative, and then positive, 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 neutral, positive, positive, neutral, neutral, positive, positive, negative, negative, neutral. So there's an infinite amount of gears and coordinates. But the point is that we're always physically biocompassing our direction, assessing what direction we should go in by whether we are receiving positive synchronicity, neutral synchronicity, or negative synchronicity. And ideally, we are trusting negative synchronicity to tell us about right timing, because the biocompassing alarm is about right timing. It's not about time. In an infinite universe, time is irrelevant because all time is included, but timing is everything because it's about synchronicity. It's about movement. It's about rhythm. It's about a sustainable relationship, right? So things are changing, whether what that is internally, things that we thought would always feel solid are withering away and showing us that they actually aren't as supportive as we thought we were. We were as we thought they were, or whether this is saying from an outside perspective, things that we thought were attracting us are actually repelling us now. Movement is taking place, change is happening. When there's nothing to change, there's nothing to do, but we're in Sagittarius season. So we know there's always something to do in Sagittarius season because they are doers, they are bombastic, they are fire. And actually something Tara, my homie and colleague of Dreamscapes Academy, wrote today, and who is a Sagittarius with Leo placements. So I want to read what they said because it's so appropriate for a fire sign to say this. Tara said, I quoted them in their chat, in their comment section. So Tara said, my existence living contributes to my existence dying. My existence living contributes to my existence dying. And why I think that's important is because that's very much the nature of the fire. Fire is the only element that has to consume itself to persist. And so its existence living contributes to its existence dying. By burning itself, it turns to ash. It ensures it's going away. It's released into the air. It's released into the earth, but it's the nature of itself to be that which it is. And so fire burns. That's what it does. And so we are that. We are little fires. This little light of mine, it's a little torch. And we are here to shine our light. So the movement is always to move in the direction that you most prefer, but also to pay attention to how existence is affirming you through positive synchronicity, allowing you through neutral synchronicity, or denying you through negative synchronicity, which allows you then to make the most appropriate right timing decisions in terms of the direction that you take on. Our opportunity, our obstacle, that which is outside of us, the concern, the movement that's taking place outside of us, are we receiving it as an opportunity or are we receiving it as an obstacle? And our card is vision. All experience is useful experience, which is the same thing as saying all press is good press. All experience is useful experience. So the vision is like, whether you see it as an opportunity or an obstacle, how will you choose to use this energy? How will you choose to use even what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer? One way that you can do this is, what did I learn from this? You can ask yourself, what did I learn from this? This being the thing I don't prefer that happened to me. What did I learn from this thing that happened to me that I don't prefer, that I otherwise would not have learned this at this moment, this quickly, at this time, at this juncture? And once you have the answer to that, let that be what it was for. It's not, it doesn't need to be like, and this means that I'm damned forever because existence has shown me through yet another negative synchronicity that what I want is not for me. It's more like existence continues to affirm that I am not in right timing, but in the direction that I continue to insist on going. But if I do not insist, because insistence is resistance, then what I see is that existence is providing me these neutral and positive synchronicities that I am not paying attention to because I'm insisting on going in the direction that is continuously giving me the negative synchronicity and denying me access, right? Because that's the whole point of negative synchronicity. It denies. So with vision in the palm, yes, we are in a place where we're like, okay, where is this movement ultimately taking me in terms of my big picture? As you guys know, I always say, like, we live in a nihilistic Machiavellian white cis-heteropatriarchal society. So we do not need to bring our own negative beliefs. There's a preponderance of negativity on earth, and we will always be, supported through a negative synchronicity, whether we bring our own or not, because there's just an abundance of it to be had on earth and an abundance of it to have to shift through, transition through, elevate through, transcend, period. So when we have vision, it's very much about what of this that has taken place can be useful to me in the way that I prefer it to be useful to me, because I want to be the version of myself that I most prefer. Vision is not so much about, like, it's not necessarily about action, right? It's not necessarily about what something that you need to do or some action that you need to take, but it is very much about how you wish to characterize, narrate, decide that something happened to you and for what reason. We don't decide everything that happens to us, but we do decide the meaning of everything that happens to us, because even if we're agreeing with somebody outside of us, what they told us was the meaning, we are co-signing that meaning from inside of ourselves. We are the entirety of our perception. We are the entirety of our consciousness awareness. And so whenever we take on a belief, whether it's ours or not, we are co-signing that belief from inside, internally. We are saying, I agree, I disagree, I don't know if I agree or disagree, right? Negative, neutral, positive. And with vision, I also think it's a matter of getting the bigger picture here, seeing the long game for yourself, and then whatever the long game that it seems to be that Earth is corroborating for you or not corroborating for you in terms of your own vision. Existence will come through and co-sign about right timing. It will sign on the dotted line when you're in right timing through positive synchronicity. It will leave the signature blank when not affirming or denying through neutral synchronicity. And it will take the contract and rip it away from you. It's negative synchronicity. It will burn that shit in your face. So vision is here to really inform you as to what you need to do with the movements in terms of not only your own desires, but the movement is the biocompassing from existence and whether or not it is you are in right timing with existence. The vision is acting on your neutral and your positive beliefs to the best of your ability, knowing that negative synchronicity will come up for you as needed based on right timing, and not because you need to negatively affirm yourself by withholding or not doing something that you would otherwise do because you are convinced by your intellect that somehow you're going to fail at it before you've even taken the action to be proven right, wrong, or neither way, or sideways, neutrally, by the biocompassing synchronicity of existence. Trust that existence will always affirm, allow, or deny you from outside, and that all you need to do is take neutral and positive action to receive a positive, neutral, or negative right timing synchronicity from existence as a biocompassing method of finding your direction. Finally, well, not finally, because we have a key card, but finally, in the advantage aversion section, we have what about our character it will assist us or not assist us. And we have espiritus, the spirit, with butterfly energy, yes? So we have metamorphosis, of course. And Zoom was telling me that I can't record in my cloud. Okay, well, so sorry. You have metamorphosis, of course, with spirit, but you also have your non-destructible soul. I've been telling people recently, like the reason that the body dies is because the spirit isn't in the body, or else it would never die. The body is in the spirit. The reason the body dies is because the spirit picks up your body to bring your little baby ass to earth. And you're like, oh God, wow, so scary. What's happening? And then you become an adult and you're like, still don't quite know. And nobody is explaining it well. And it's scary here. And then you get into your adulthood and you're like, maybe navigating this all right. Anyways, I have some footing or, some sort of equilibrium to speak of. And then we get into our elder age. And we're getting to, oh God, I was freaking out so much. I wish I could go back and just like chill the fuck out. And then eventually the spirit takes you to the death throes and you just drop your body off. Your spirit drops your body off and says, thank you, Earth, for the loan. Really appreciated this rental. Really hope that I gave Sanya Estelle Namin again everything that she deserves, because I only had the one time to live her as spirit. And from the first person perspective, right? I'm Sanya between the temples. Sanyu between the ears, Sanyu between the eyes. I'm Sanyu here now. And when my spirit drops Sanyu off, I'll be Sanyu from here. But right now I get to be in the earth body because my spirit picked up my earth body and I'm in alignment with earth. And so it allows me to live out my material life. And so for the spirit to be an advantage of the aversion, it's like, do you trust life? Like, do you trust existence? Do you trust your embodiment of existence called your life to get you where you want to go? And if you don't, how would you get there anyway if you won't go with yourself? How would you get there anyway if you won't go with yourself? If you won't go with yourself, you are not the one getting there. So go with yourself so that you can get there, regardless of whether someone picks you up, you take a train, you walk, you skip, you roll, you drag, you are dragged. Be there now. Be here now so you can be there then. Be here now so you can be there then. So again, our concern is movement, biocompassing. Our opportunity obstacle is vision, the big picture of the overarching narrative. And our advantage aversion, what is helping us or hindering us from inside, is our spirit, our ability to understand the indestructible nature of ourself, and the fact that our spirit picks up material life and not the other way around. Our spirit picks up our material life. Our material life does not encapsulate our spirit. Our spirit allows for our material life to manifest. So never deny the power of the unknown or the unseeable, or as I pass on from one of my teachers, Bash Bay, the only thing you're going to find in the unknown is more of yourself. So now that we know that, let's see what our key card is for my specific crew of